You know, I've always been a bit suspicious of Kickstarter type campaigns, and for good reason. You see, I've been stung on these before, like when I paid over $500 for an electric scooter that just disappeared on Indiegogo. Yeah, I've never forgiven them for that. But this one, on Kickstarter first and now on Indiegogo, has delivered, albeit late because of COVID-19. Let me walk you through my quick review of the Just Mobile Shuttergrip 2, what it's good for, its best features, and why I think you might want to include this in your bag as a very useful tool for your photography and video needs. Let's go. The Shuttergrip 2 is essentially a smartphone grip plus a remote button for a more camera-like feel. In that sense, it's just like the original Shuttergrip, but this new and updated version takes it several steps further, and all for just $35. And that's what drew my attention to it and made me sign up for the Kickstarter campaign. That and the fact that it's won a Red Dot Design Award in 2020, which is a little bit of a big deal. Let's start with the unboxing and seeing what's in the box. Okay, it's a pretty low-key package with the actual Shuttergrip 2 inside, as well as a battery for the Bluetooth shutter button and nylon lanyard and a pouch to protect it in your camera bag or even just your pocket. The manufacturer, Just Mobile, wants you to think about it just like a Swiss Army knife of smartphone grips, with the added feature of a rotating grip and telescopic stick for selfies and cold shoe mount for adding additional accessories like lights and microphones. I think that's a pretty fair description. And that's not all. There are a few other ways in which these new features can be used. Many of the accessories you might need to carry separately are included in the clever design of the Shuttergrip 2. Let me take you through my 8-point feature and experience review one by one. The headline use for the Shuttergrip 2 is as a camera grip for your phone, and it fits a wide range of phone widths and is able to be used left or right-handed by sliding it to either side of the phone. It's pretty versatile. Just expand the spring-loaded jaws to slip in your phone and the rubber grips clamp onto your phone. Just make sure you steer clear of any of your phone's buttons. Once you've put the battery in place with the remote shutter, you can pair the button with your phone and you're ready to start shooting. The grip itself is a rubbery textured cylinder, which gives it a nice stable feel on the phone. And once it's on, my phone just feels more like a camera, especially when you have this physical shutter button that adds to that whole experience. I have to say I really like using it in this way. It feels like a very different kind of experience, and I can't wait to combine that with using my moment case ND filter attachment and additional lenses to see how that turns out. The shutter button itself works for single shots, shot bursts, and to start and stop your video too, depending on what mode your phone is set to. One cheap and widely available CR2032 battery will last 6 months of continuous usage or a standby time of 18 months, assuming daily shutter button press rates of 500 times a day, according to the manufacturer. And for that kind of durability, I'm happy to forego USB charging, which I know some people have criticized this for lacking. And yes, the shutter button slides off its little mount here, and you can use it as a remote trigger up to about 10 meters away if there are no obstacles in your way. But if I can use a remote shutter button, how am I going to stand up my phone to frame my subject? I know it's a no-brainer, but it's good to see it executed. There's a standard 1/4 inch tripod mount to use with your favorite mini or full-size tripod. One of the great things about the Shuttergrip 2 is that there is a large amount of reticulation, meaning hidden functionality that can be deployed just when you need it. Here's my first example, where the grip handle can be flipped a full 180 degrees, creating a lower grip handle. Perfect for creating stable video. And look how the shutter button can be slid off and remounted in this extra slot, just where your thumb can click the video recording on and off. And you can slide the handle over to the center to make sure you've got the conditions set for maximum possible stability using this setup. And as well as the landscape mode that I've just shown you, you can also transform the grip to a portrait orientation side position, changing the pitch angle to whatever you need it to be. Useful for stabilizing shots for social media photos, but also handy for live streaming too. Once you have the grip in an extended position, it's just a short step to extending out the hidden 15cm telescopic selfie arm to get that little bit of extra distance you might need to grab the perfect shot. The Bluetooth shutter button is still in reach, and when you're done, the telescopic arm slots right back in again, nice and easy. Do you need more light or a better mic option, or even want to add another camera to your setup? There's a cold shoe accessory mount built in, and it's accessible by sliding out the rubber piece on top. Any accessory that can be attached to a standard shoe mount can be slotted in right here. For me, this was one of the reasons I wanted this, to use a Rode Wireless Go with my iPhone. You'd be surprised how tricky it is to get a grip with a cold shoe, particularly at this price. And also remember, this is the Swiss Army knife of smartphone grips, with all that other functionality built in besides just this shoe mount. This is a nice little killer feature for me here again too. As you use the shutter grip too, you may start to notice some of the articulation joints starting to become a little bit loose. What can you do about that? Well, Just Mobile has incorporated a hex wrench or tiny Allen key into the design of this rubber cover that plugs in the gap of the cold shoe accessory mount. Now that's smart. One of the extra things I tend to pack in my bag is a stand for my phone if I want to watch some video or maybe get into a FaceTime call or read the paper while I'm having my coffee. The Shutter Grip has those stands built in. Check it out. It can be configured as a vertical orientation stand and a horizontal orientation too. Well, so far what I like is that the Shutter Grip 2 is light, very easy to set up, and quick and painless to use. The way the removable shutter button can be mounted in different places or as a remote trigger is a very cool feature. There's no app needed to use it. The Bluetooth pairing is simple and it just works. And I love the long life of the battery, and the hex wrench inclusion is just a genius nice touch. But be careful, don't lose that rubber cold shoe cover because that's where it's located. About the only thing I didn't like about it is the slightly low quality plasticky feel sometimes, and the fact that the lanyard mounting point means that the lanyard just kind of gets in the way sometimes. It's a minor niggle, but possibly an expensive one if you end up dropping your phone with no lanyard around your wrist. To be honest though, I would rarely use it, it's just too fiddly. The Shutter Grip 2 is available in silver, pink sand and matte black. I'm not associated with the product at all, I just like it and thought you should know about it. I rate it, and yes, it's a bit plasticky, but it's $35 and I think it's really good value for that. It's on Indiegogo right now and you can find the link in the video description. If you like this, check out this video for more of my light and mobile video and photography gear and tips. My name is Sarb Johal. Be sure to subscribe to know when there's more from me, and maybe hit the applause button too if you can see that. Cheers and go well.